They shuffled desks, the room reset, a scribbled chart, a quiet bed. And when the list was finally done, I saw his name right next to mine. My heart jumped 2-3 steps ahead, already staging lines I'd said. A casual smile, a daily wave, a start of something small but brave. Good morning, soft and bright, to friends in front, to left and right, but not to me, not once, not yet. Like I'd become a silhouette, just air between two wooden seats, a gap so loud and silent beat. We're side by side but worlds apart. He never sees the beating heart. No hey, no glance, no nod to show that I exist 2 feet below. His voice a breeze that skips my name. Each day it stings, each day the same. I thought this seat would bring me near, but all I feel is disappearing here. He turns his notes, I turn my head, pretend to read the lines I've read, but nothing sticks, not even ink, when all I do is overthink. They say he's shy or just not keen, but I've been right here, clearly seen. So why does it feel like I'm the ghost he skips past most, but not the most? We're side by side but worlds apart. He never sees the beating heart. No hey, no glance, no nod to show that I exist 2 feet below. His voice a breeze that skips my name. Each day it stings, each day the same. I thought this seat would bring me near, but all I feel is disappearing here. Maybe if I spoke up loud, cut through silence, shock the crowd, but courage hides behind my teeth, and I just breathe beneath his reach. Till someday I'll ignite the space between our chairs and shift this place. Till then I wear my quiet crown, a queen of all that gets looked down. We're side by side and yet unseen, like space that's always in between. I whisper morning to my sleeve, but he won't catch what I believe. It's not a crime, it's not a curse, but silence always makes it worse. He's near enough to hear me clear, but far enough to disappear. We're side by side but I still burn, and maybe someday it'll turn. I'll raise my voice, I'll break this spell, and bring a chime too loud to quell. He may not answer, may not change, but I won't sit in this exchange of empty seats and hopes unclear. I'll write my name, make sure it's here. Sunlight spills across the floor, the windows hum, the chairs still snore. I push the door with practiced pace and scan the room for one known face. He's by the glass in mid-laugh flight with someone else bathed in the light. Their words float high like morning mist, while mine dissolve the moment wish. I clear my throat, I say it soft. Good morning, timid, far aloft. But no one flinches, no one turns. The greeting dies before it burns. My footsteps loud to only me, the silence loud as it can be. I reach my desk, adjust my chair, pretend the air tapped her screen. The morning spun like every scene, but I was dust beneath the frame, still mouthing greetings none could name. I could have shouted, waved or danced, but wouldn't change the circumstance. Their world was tuned to louder tones, while I kept whispering to bones. I said hello, but no one heard, not even him. No stolen word, just laughter shared a world away, while I got lost inside the gray. The sunlight warmed their window pane, while mine stayed cold in quiet strain. I smiled like it was nothing new, but still the silence split me through. Maybe tomorrow I won't speak, let silence be the charm I seek. If no one hears, then why perform a ritual that feels lukewarm? But deep beneath the curtain sound, a voice still wants to echo round. I'll wait until the wind aligns and carries me through morning lines. I said hello, it felt so flat, like chalk that misses where it's sat. He never turned, she never saw, and I just sank inside that floor. I sat in light that couldn't stay and watched their joy from far away. No harm was done, no blame to throw. Just one more day, I whispered low, but next time I'll raise up my tone and not leave kindness all alone. He may not hear, she may not care, but I'll be more than morning air. I'll speak again and own the sound. Let silence know it's not my crown. He missed it once, but I still gleam. A voice too strong to stay unseen. Spring arrived with restless breeze, cherry petals danced with ease. I walked the path like any day until I heard him call her name. It wasn't loud, it wasn't sharp, just soft enough to strike my heart. His voice a thread through warming air, wrapped round my chest before I cared. It wasn't me he called, I knew, but still my pulse began to skew. A laugh too close, a name too sweet, and suddenly my steps repeat. My mind said, don't you dare misread, but heartbeats race without the lead. A sound that wasn't meant for me still flips my thoughts so recklessly. He didn't mean it, not my cue, yet every syllable felt new. A voice not aimed yet pulled me in, like losing even when I win. It's just a tone, a breath, a note, but still it crawled beneath my coat. I hate how fast I come undone when he speaks even to someone. He's just a boy, he doesn't see the chaos he can cause in me. A word, a wave, no second glance, but I still fall like it's romance. I walk ahead, pretend it's gone, that sound, that tug, it won't drag on. But even now it softly plays inside my chest for days and days. He didn't mean it, not my cue, yet every syllable felt new. A voice not aimed yet pulled me in, like losing even when I win. It's just a tone, a breath, a note, but still it crawled beneath my coat. I hate how fast I come undone when he speaks even to someone. Maybe I'll build a soundproof wall or learn to flinch at every call. But voices don't obey the brain, they ride the wind, they leave a stain. One day I'll hear without the ache, no tremble at a name mistake. But till that day I bite my lip and sail this storm without a grip. He didn't mean it, not to me, yet here I stand invisibly, responding to a random pitch, like memory pressed to a switch. No love declared, no grants to share, but still I felt him in the air. And that alone should not be true, but it is, and I hate that too. He didn't mean it, and I know, but spring just makes the feelings grow. His voice like pollen fills the skies, and plants regret behind my eyes. It's not my name, it's not my right, but still I flinch in morning light. One call, one laugh, and I'm not free. Wrong been, but it still carried me. The sun was sharp, the field was wide. A gust of wind, I slipped, I slide. The gravel bit my knee, turned red, while cheers and chatter buzzed ahead. The world kept spinning, laughs went on, but in that blur one face was drawn. He stood just there, not far at all, yet didn't move, just watch me fall. Not out of reach, not blocked by crowd. No headphone in, no music loud. His hands were free, his shoes were clean, but still he stayed behind the scene. I met his eyes for just a beat, a flash of pause, then back to feed. He turned away, the game resumed, and I sat still, half bruised, half doomed. He didn't run, he didn't ask, just let the distance wear a mask. 5 meters wide, but deeper still, the silence struck the loudest kill. No, you okay? No helping hand, just stood and let me misunderstand. The wound will fade, the blood will dry, but not the way he passed me by. Someone else brought gauze and tape. I laughed it off, made no escape. But deep inside I screamed at fate for drawing lines 5 steps too late. They said he's shy or maybe slow, but hearts don't freeze unless they know. And I had hope just once he'd break that stillness for another's ache. He didn't run, he didn't ask, just let the distance wear a mask. 5 meters wide, but deeper still, that silence struck the loudest kill. No, you okay? No helping hand, just stood and let me misunderstand. The wound will fade, the blood will dry, but not the way he passed me by. I wasn't waiting for a night, just something human, something right. But now I know how far we are when pain reveals just who we are. Next time I fall, I won't look twice for faces shaped in silent ice. I'll rise alone, I'll wear the scar and count the ones who never are. He didn't run, and that was loud. His stillness swallowed up the crowd. I heard the gap, the steps he spared, and learned how much he never cared. I didn't ask, I didn't plead, but still it cracked a deeper need. The grass will grow, the bruise will hide, but not the ache he left inside. He didn't run, and I won't chase. I'll learn to fall with fiercer grace. Next time I'll catch my own regret and walk away from silhouette. No more waiting for a face that won't step up, won't leave their place. The scratch is gone, but now I see it cut much deeper silently. Projector hums, the lights go low, a grainy frame begins to glow. The room dissolves in shadows grip, and every sound feels like a slip. I'm right beside him, breath held tight, a chance to speak behind the night. The kind of moment turn my head, rehearse the line, a joke, a note, some clever sign. But just before my voice breaks free, he laughs too soft for all but she. Their heads are close, their eyes half lit, their whispers carve a perfect fit. The screen plays on, but not for me. I'm just a blur in memory. They shared a spark beneath the screen while I just stared into the scene. The shadows kept us all in one, but I could feel my light undone. His laugh was low, her smile thin. I never had a way to win. The dark was made to hide, I see, but it showed who was not meant to be. I sat back straight, pretended cool, like this was just a break from school. But even silence shouts too loud when you're left out of someone's cloud. They leaned again, he passed a note. My heart sank low inside my coat. Not angry, just a quiet ache, like dreams that crack but never break. They shared a spark beneath the screen while I just stared into the scene. The shadows kept us all in one, but I could feel my light undone. His laugh was low, her smile thin. I never had a way to win. The dark was made to hide, I see, but it showed who was not meant to be. I don't need a spotlight flare, just one small sign that I was there. But sometimes silence doesn't lie, it marks the space where hopes go dry. I almost spoke, I almost tried, but almost leave you split inside. The film went on, the credits rolled, and I was still outside the fold. They shared a spark, a breath, a beat, while I kept still in my backseat. The dark should hold us close and fair, but somehow I got colder there. A whisper skipped, a glance slid past, and I just froze, erased too fast. I didn't cry, I didn't flee, but left the room less visibly. They shared a spark beneath the screen. The next time I won't just be seen. I'll speak my line, I'll break the frame, and not just wait for someone's name. No more rehearsing silent jokes while watching others fan their smoke. He laughed, she smiled, and that was key, but I won't vanish quietly. I wrapped it tight, a little bow, a candy sweet, not much to show. Just one small way to say well done for helping me when stress had won. I reached his desk, my hands felt light. He looked and smiled, just not too bright. He said thanks, soft, without a spark, then slid it in the drawer half dark. It wasn't rude, it wasn't cold, just strangely fast, a little old, like he was filing kindness bland, not catching what was in my hand. But minutes passed and then I saw him walk across with zero flaw. He gave her something pink and sweet and laughed so loud I felt my seat. I gave him sugar wrapped in nerve. He tucked it in like I don't serve, but she got laughter, light and shine, while I just stayed in muted lines. He said thank you, quick, polite, but didn't hold it, not quite right. I didn't cry, I didn't scream, but it cracked right through my candy dream. The wrapper's rustle still in hand fell louder now than I had planned. Why did it shake? Why did it burn when kindness got no real return? He saw her eyes, he saw her grin. He lit up like the sun within, and I sat still, too proud to move, but every glance became a proof. I gave him sugar wrapped in nerve. He tucked it in like I don't serve, but she got laughter, light and shine, while I just stayed in muted lines. He said thank you, quick, polite, but didn't hold it, not quite right. I didn't cry, I didn't scream, him sweetness wrapped in shy. He took it like a passing sigh, but she got sparkles, tone and flare, while I just vanished into air. It's not revenge, it's just a note to stop investing silent hope. He smiled once, then looked away, and I outgrew that kind of day. I gave him sugar, now I see the one who needs the sweet is me. Next time I'll gift it with a grin to someone glad to let me in. No drawers, no pause, no faded thanks, no quiet hearts left on the flanks. He missed the taste and that's his loss, 'cause I'm the prize, not what gets tossed. Spring lights build on textbook ink, but my eyes found the edge, the brink, where glass divides the page from sky, and far below he ran right by the soccer field, a burst of green, a stage where he could always gleam. He left with friends, arms wide and wild, the world applauded like a child. I sat alone, the window frame, like theater seats without my name. I traced his moves, the perfect pace, while hiding hope behind my face. He passed, he spun, he called, he grinned, the ball obeyed just like the wind. But not once did he glance my way, like I was sky, just part of day. He kicks, he runs, he owns the ground, while I stay quiet, thought I'm bound. The glass between is crystal clear, yet he won't see I'm even here. No signal sent, no fingers raised, just pages turn while he's all blaze. I wish he'd look just once straight up, but stars don't shine in coffee cups. I marked a line where his foot fell, like it could cast a private spell. But numbers can't convert a glance, and I was never part of chance. The library held silent air, a sacred space to sit and stare. But watching someone never seen feels colder than the in-between. He kicks, he runs, he owns the ground, while I stay quiet, thought unbound. The glass between is crystal clear, yet he won't see I'm even here. No signal sent, no fingers raised, just pages turned while he's all blaze. I wish he'd look just one straight up, but stars don't shine in coffee cups. Maybe I'm not his guide to seek, just background light, a subtle streak. But someday I'll descend below and make the field my own to show. Not just the girl who watches still, but one who bends the air at will. He may not see me from the start, but I'll outpace his reckless heart. He kicks, he runs, a perfect show, but never once looked up to know that someone sat with eyes like flame, who didn't want to play the game. Not now, not here, but still I stayed, while all my heart was misdisplayed. The glass was clear, the day was bright, but he missed me in all that light. He kicks, he runs, and I moved on, no longer trapped by what is gone. I'll step outside this paper frame and write my name into the game. He missed the view, he missed the height, but I've become my own sunlight. Let him chase stars and never stop, while I rise fast and never drop. The clock blinked red and tired light. The classroom drained of morning bright. just me and him, 2 desks apart, with scribbled pages, silent hearts, pants scratched down the fading sun. I stole a glance, he kept on run. Equations ruled the space between. Not once did he look up and mean. He asked if I had solved this part, a math mistake, a science chart. I answered back a not a line, but nothing past the academic spine. The room was full of unsaid things, of maybe jokes or fluttered wings. But when we packed and zipped our bags, he simply smiled and waved with lag. Just notes, just scores, just borrowed light. No sparks, no turns, no wrongs to right. He spoke of tests and formulas while I rewrote what never was. He said, see you, clean and dry, like nothing lingered in the sky. I stayed pretending I was fine, but silence echoed down the line. He didn't know I brought 2 pens, one just in case we'd start as friends. But all that past were numbers cold, and not the stories I had told. The way he stood so near the door made it feel farther than before, like he was close but didn't see the girl who tried to just be me. Just notes, just scores, just borrowed light. No sparks, no turns, no wrongs to right. He spoke of tests and formulas while I rewrote what never was. He said, see you, clean and dry, like nothing lingered in the sky. I stayed pretending I was fine, but silence echoed down the line. Maybe one day, when books are closed, he'll read the lines I never chose. Not in a graph or test prep sheet, but in the pauses when we meet. But till that day, I'll write my name in places loud and scenes with flame, and not just sit in fading air, expecting something not quite there. Just notes and graphs and not much more. He walked away, I shut the door. A single phrase, a final cue that didn't mean what I wished to. No flinch, no pause, no subtle glance, just see you stripped of any chance. And though I smiled and packed my things, my chest still hummed with silent strings. Next time I'll speak beyond the lines, not hide behind these study signs. He talked to facts, I lived to tell, and now I'm done with feeling frail. He said, see you, and that's okay, but I won't fade in shades of gray. The next goodbye he hears from me will sound like who I meant to be. Scrolling past the morning haze, a flick, a tap, the algorithm plays. His name appeared, a brand new tag, a follow mark with neon swag. I clicked before my heart could brace, a profile pic too bright, too laced. She smiled in filters I can't fake, with flawless skin and perfect taste. Hair like fire, lips like gloss, a look that screams she's never lost. A caption cool, a bio clean, the kind of girl who owns the screen. I hovered close, then backed away, like touching it would make me fray. I didn't even dare to peek at posts that made me feel too weak. He followed her and that was all, but still it made my chest feel small. A single tap, no words, no claim, but still it set my blood aflame. She's not to blame, she's not my foe, but next to her I start to go invisible behind the screen, a ghost to what I might have been. The world is angles, shining grace, while I just stare and hide my face. No digital, no dreamy light, just me in jeans that don't fit right. What's worse is not the follow part, it's how it echoed through my heart. How I erased my open tab, like closing pain could heal the stab. He followed her and that was chase a dream I'll never pass, but I'll be real, I'll stay unframed. And one day he'll regret that name. The one he clicks so fast, so clean, might not know how to breathe between. But I've got depth, I got my fire, more than just his passing wire. He followed her and I stood still, just watching pain. I didn't will, not jealous, just a sting of lack of not being who won him back. She glowed, I dim, that's how it played, but I won't let my edges fade. He saw a pixel, not my storm, but I'll return in full-blown form. He followed her, but I've got flame that burns beyond a filtered frame. She might be pretty, poised and prim, but I've got strength from every whim. He clicked away and that's his loss. I'm more than likes or pretty gloss. Next time he scrolls, he just might see the one he missed was truly me. Paint fumes and paper skies. I sit too straight, I draw too tight. The gym is loud with footsteps light, but silence wraps just me tonight. We got the job, a duo fate. You and him, it'll look so great. But every stroke he throws with flair is chased by laughter, just not where I stare. He leans in close, but not to me. The giggles bubble endlessly. She wipes a smear from his proud cheek. He doesn't notice I haven't breathed. My sketch is bold, too sharp, too wide. Well, they just float with matching stride. I blend in paint that shouldn't mix, like jealousy and crimson bricks. Oh, I'm shading shadows he can't see. He's painting smiles not meant for me. This flag's for fire and unity, but my heart split like symmetry. No tragic scene, no storm to flee, just brush stroke jealousy. It's loud inside this silent roll where colors drain what I can't show. He dips his brush and she just beams. Their shoulders touch in careless dreams. I trace a line, fierce and proud, but my roars never come out loud. Teamwork, they say, like it's a prize, but I just feel too minimized. They shine in reds and sapphire tones while I outline my hate alone. He hums a song I don't quite know. She joins along, their voices glow. The banner flaps our name in gold. I paint, pretend I'm just that bold. He asks her if the flame looks real, but nods as if it seals the deal. I hold the blue, the brush, my breath, and keep on smiling through the rest. Oh, I'm shading shadows he can't see. He's painting smiles not meant for me. This flag's for fire and unity, but my heart split like symmetry. No tragic scene, no storm to flee, just brush stroke jealousy. It's loud inside this silent roll where colors drain what I can't show. Maybe I'll sign in tiny script, just one small name where corners dip. Not bold, not bright, but it'll stay like I was there, like I had say. He might not turn, not even glance, but banners wave where colors dance. And maybe when they raise it high, some part of me will learn to fly. Oh, I'm shading shadows he can't see. He's painting smiles not meant for me. This flag's for fire and unity, but my heart split like symmetry. No tragic scene, no storm to flee, just brush stroke of jealousy. Yet in the end, when silence clears, I gave it shape through stifled tears. Paint may dry, but feelings stain. A flag won't flutter quite the same. I brushed the truth he'll never know and made it burn in indigo. We sat on opposite ends of red, the canvas white, the silence spread. A job assigned, a dream to share. real different in stale air. His laughs came light but never near. They always turned her way to cheer, while I just traced and bit my lip, each line a tethered sinking ship. Pass me the black, she said, not me. The teamer brushed me out of key. He cracked a joke, I flinched on cue. I smudged the sun and blamed the glue. She leaned too close, he didn't flinch. They painted flames, I watched them clench. My hands kept moving cold and fast, as if that speed could make it pass. I'm not the girl in golden light, I'm just the shadow out of sight. This isn't love, it's ink and pride, but something twisted up inside. No scream, no fight, just looking through a masterpiece I never drew. The flag will fly bold red and blue, but I'm the gray they painted too. He asked if this curve looks okay, but not to me, he turned her way. She nodded fast, he smiled wide, and I just made the tiger side. The tiger roars, the colors burn, I blend in spots where no eyes turn. They talked in brush strokes, shared the flame, while I erased my second name. She flicked a drop onto his sleeve. He laughed, she wiped, it didn't leave. He joked, you'll make this banner shine. I stayed inside my boundary line, my corner clean, no mess, no pride, just taking space and thoughts denied. I signed the date beneath the paw and bit my tongue to break the law. I'm not the girl in golden light, I'm just the shadow out of sight. This isn't love, it's ink and pride, but something twisted up inside. No scream, no fight, just looking through a masterpiece I never drew. The flag will fly bold red and blue, but I'm the gray they painted. Let it wave, let it shine, it won't erase this crooked line. And maybe one day I'll forget how pain can sting with no regret. But if they ask who made the flame, tell them my hands knew just the same. Though they won't see me in the glow, my part's beneath what they won't know. I'm not the girl in golden light, I'm just the shadow out of sight. This isn't love, it's ink and pride, but something twisted up inside. No scream, no fight, just looking through a masterpiece I never drew. The flag will fly bold red and blue, but I'm the gray they painted it too. Brush me out, I won't complain. Even silence leaves a stain. They'll cheer the flag, not knowing who stood next to them and never drew. The math was dull, the clock was slow. I flipped my pen to steal the show. A cat with fangs, a sword with wings. In his notebook I drew silly things. He glanced then grinned, just half a beat. A smile that made my seat feel heat. The scribble lived between the lines. I thought for once that space is mine. The bell rang out, he didn't speak, just turned the page. My knees went weak because right there in purple ink were doodles twice as cute in sync. A heart, a bear, her name half sketched, and jokes in margins neatly etched. I froze mid-smile, my pulse erased. My tiger now felt out of place. First page I was brave, a spark, a dare, but second page she's already there. He smiled for me but laughed with her like I was ink, but she's a blur. A notebook world I tried to steal, but page by page it's not my real. He's a puzzle soft but sly, and I'm just trying not to cry. it's just a game. That notes and doodles aren't the same. But why'd he keep that pastel ghost? While mine will fade the quickest most. Her sketch had stars, a talking toast, with puns that made the margin boast. Mine felt like static, rushed and thin, compared to what she drew within. He tapped his pen like nothing changed, but I was scattered, rearranged. A war inside, a ruled white page, between a joke and jealous rage. He leaned back, calm eyes on the board, while I replayed his smile's reward. Was it for me? Was it for then? Or just a reflex made with pen? First page I was brave, a spark a dare. But second page she's already there. He smiled for me but laughed with her, like I was ink but she's a blur. A notebook world I tried to steal, but page by page it's not my real. He's a puzzle, soft but sly, and I'm just trying not to cry. Next time I'll draw a fire, breathing truth, a phoenix mocking classroom youth, and sign it bold. No half-men play, just I was here in sharp array. If he flips past, that's fine, I'll live. I gave the art I had to give, but if he keeps it one thin line, then maybe he remembers mine. First page I was brave, a spark a dare. But second page she's already there. He smiled for me but laughed with her, like I was ink but she's the blur. A notebook world I tried to steal, but page by page it's not my real. I won't rewrite, I won't erase, but I won't beg for second place. Between the lessons, lead and lies, I left a mark he might revise. But even if it fades away, I liked him best that one first day. The hallway buzzed with pins and tape, posters loud and red escape, a dozen names in bold proud ink, and one that made my heartbeat sink. His name there shining like a flare, but right beneath a note lay bare a praise and curls, a cheer so sweet it wasn't mine, still knocked my feet. She wrote, he's kind with little stars and leads so well in group project wars. My eyes skim fast but too in depth, each line a quiet paper theft. I smiled because what else to do? I stood like tape without the glue. The crowd just passed, they didn't see this low-key heartbreak stuck on me. I didn't write a single word, but somehow still my heart got hurt. Between the staples, laughs and signs, my voice was lost in posted lines. He'll win and she'll be part of that, while I pretend I'm fine with black. Confetti flies and all cheer, but I'll still wish my name was near. To write, I swear I did, but doubts crept in and then I hid. Would mine have made his fingers pause, or just been skipped without a cause? Her pen was quick, her courage loud, and I just watched outside the crowd. My shoes stood firm, my lips were sealed, but something underneath unreal. Good luck, she signed with hearts and flair, and suddenly the board felt bare, no space for me. Though I arrived too late, too quiet, half alive, he stood nearby with cheerful nods, thanked her and laughed like kind demigods. I looked away, then glanced again, but maybe he'd still notice when I didn't write a single word, but somehow still my heart got hurt. Between the staples, laughs and signs, my voice was lost in posted lines. He'll win and she'll be part of that, while I pretend I'm fine with black. Confetti flies and all will cheer, but I'll still wish my name was near. Disguise, let ink declare what silence hides. Even if he doesn't see, at least I'll stand beside my plea. The boards will change, the names will fade, but I won't miss the chance I made to say I notice, I believe, even if I was deceived. I didn't write a single word, but somehow still my heart got hurt. Between the staples, laughs and signs, my voice was lost in posted lines. He'll win and she'll be part of that, while I pretend I'm fine with black. But next time that board's dressed in flair, I'll make sure he sees I was that screams a name that wandered through my dreams. Map in hand and time unleashed. Kyoto breeze too loud for peace. The group said split, meet here at 5. I played along but didn't feel alive. My camera clicked but not for views. Just hoped to bump into some clues. And there he was, out for alone by lucky charms and polished stone. I ducked behind the panda rack, my breath too short to bring me back. His bag was full, his eyes looked light. He laughed at something off to right. I could have waved or said his name, but all my courage shrank to shame. He passed me once, then disappeared, and I just stood there souvenired. I bought a bell I didn't want, just to mask my silent taunt. Could have been a movie scene, but I froze like vending machines. Not brave, not bold, not even kind, just lost in all four of my mind. He left and I stayed out of frame, too scared to gamble on my name. Back at the inn, I laughed too loud, pretended I was shrine bound proud. But every echo brought me back to him in that unlucky rack. My friend said, "What did you get him?" I shrugged and lied, I saw no hint. But deep inside, my fingers clenched around a moment I had drenched. Later, I peeked at photos shared, his grin so bright like he'd been spared of hesitation, doubt in me, a footnote in his travel spree. I wish I'd stepped into that light instead of watching out of sight. His back grew small, my chance grew cold, and nothing now feels worth this fold. I bought a bell I didn't want, just to mask my silent taunt. Could have been a movie scene, but I froze like vending machines. Not brave, not bold, not even kind, just lost in all four of my mind. He left and I stayed out of frame, too scared to gamble on my name. Next trip, next time I'll grip the dare, say something dumb but at least be there. Even if my voice might crack, I'll still be more than silence back. Let regrets fill temples, trains. I won't repeat, I'll for chains. Cause heartbreak stings, but worse I know is letting someone never know. I bought a bell I didn't want, just to hush the war I fought. Could have made a memory, but stayed a blur in cherry spree. He turned, he laughed, then he was gone, and I stood still like dusk at dawn. Not hurt, not loud, just painfully a whisper lost in souvenir spree. Still have the bell, it doesn't ring, but every time I feel the sting. Next time I'll be more than a ghost, at least one word, one step, one post. Music class, the lights went low. Pick one track with meaning though. The teacher said, and we all stalled. But he stood up, voice clear and thrall. No lyrics, just a quiet string. He clicked play like it meant something. The room fell still, the speaker sighed, and something deep in me just died. I turned to him by reflex first, but found him gazing unrehearsed. Not at the front, not at the floor, but at a girl 2 seats before. She didn't know or didn't care, but he was trapped in silence there. The song went soft and soared midline, while I sat boxed inside the rhyme. He played her song, not with his voice, but in the stillness of his choice. The strings pulled tight, the meaning clear, and I just wished I wasn't here. No spotlight, solo or encore, just one soft stare I can't ignore. I clapped too soon, too loud, too wrong. He never knew I liked that song. The second verse came soft and low, like something only ghosts would know. His lips were calm, not too pressed, like he'd rehearsed this heart confessed, a memory stitched in melody. I saw the thread but not for me. His eyes had shape like skipping stone and skipped right past where I was known. She twirled her hair, he blinked once more. I sank like chalk on classroom floor. My hands drew shapes in open air, but nothing useful settled there. A minute passed, a year of burn, while violin refused to turn. The bell rang sharp, we stood and stretched. I stayed in place, heart half-edged. He played her song, not with his voice, but in the stillness of his choice. The strings pulled tight, the meaning clear, and I just wished I wasn't here. No spotlight, solo or encore, just one soft stare I can't ignore. I clapped too soon, too loud, too wrong. He never knew I liked that song. Next time I'll raise my hand and lie, say that tune brings tears to my eye. Even if it tears me down, at least I'll stand, not simply drown. I'll play a song so loud, so bold, it shakes the seats, breaks every mold. So if he looks, he'll look at me, not some back lost in memory. He played her song, not with his voice, but in the stillness of his choice. The strings pulled tight, the meaning clear, and I just wished I wasn't here. No spotlight, solo or encore, just one soft stare I can't ignore. He didn't flinch, he didn't sway, but I replay it anyway. The music fades, the class moves on, but I'm still stuck where chords went wrong. He never knew I liked that song, and now it feels like she's too strong. Back row laughs like thunder rolls, a ripple through the chalkboard scrolls. I heard his voice a beat too late. It crashed with hers and changed its weight. He laughed at something sharp and fast, but by the time the sound had passed, it reached me bent, not quite the same, like hearing joy without my name. She snapped a joke, the class replied. He looked at her with that soft pride. I turned my page too loud, too slow, pretending I had things to know. The wind outside could have been me. It came, it tried, then ceased to be. I caught his echo in my chest, but hers had landed there first pressed. He laughs like light through shattered glass, but all I catch is what won't last. The joke, the noise, the sound parade, then silence sharp like lemonade. He glows where others amplify, and I just sit and wonder why his voice can bloom and skip my ear, yet plant its ache when no one's near. My pen tapped once, then lost the beat. I watched his shoulders lift in heat. He leaned toward her desk, not mine, just centimeters past my line. If I had said one clever line, would he have turned, replied in kind? Instead, I swallowed all my tricks and let the clock do magic ticks. She passed a note he didn't mind. He grinned and wrote a word behind. Not meant for me, not even close, but still it lingered like a ghost. And when he laughed, the room grew wide, but I stayed pressed against my side, a witness to a sound parade that skipped the part I thought I played. He laughs like light through shattered glass, but all I catch is what won't last. The joke, the noise, the sound parade, then silence sharp like lemonade. He glows where others amplify, and I just sit and wonder why his voice can bloom and skip my ear, yet plant its ache when no one's near. If echoes bend, then maybe fate is just a joke that comes too late. I'd trade the seat, this role, this name, to catch one sound that knew my frame. A single laugh not meant to fade, a word not dropped, not missed like light through shattered glass, but all I catch is what won't last. The joke, the noise, the sound parade, and silence sharp like lemonade. He glows where others amplify, and I just sit and wonder why his voice can bloom and skip my ear, yet plant its ache when no one's near. Hung with April haze, chalk dust caught in solar rays. He stood out there, all breeze and stance, a statue framed by spring's romance. My desk was third from right row two, the only view I ever knew. He didn't talk, he didn't play, just stared somewhere the other way. His shadow spun like he was built out of the sun, a soccer ball near idle feet, yet he just stayed too calm to need. I leaned against the window's edge while cherry petals hit the ledge. Each one said look, but he did not. My gaze a satellite forgot. I watched him like a silent screen, projecting thoughts he's never seen. A theater show he didn't buy, but I paid full with every sigh. He stood, the world moved all around, yet never once turned at the sound of heartbeats tapping glass too loud, invisible inside a crowd. The teacher called, the room replied. I stayed behind my seeing guide, pretending notes but tracing shape of backs that never try escape. He scratched his neck, looked to the tree, a gesture that unraveled me. If he had turned just once by fluke, would I have waved or stayed a spook? My fingers wrote in backward ink, letters I'd lose before I think. Nice jacket, cool hair, you okay? All swallowed by the glass that day. And when he laughed, though not at me, I laughed too, echo silently. The pain between was thin and mean, a lens that blurred what might have been. I watched him like a silent screen, projecting thoughts he's never seen. A theater show he didn't buy, but I paid full with every sigh. He stood, the world moved all around, yet never once turned at the sound of heartbeats tapping glass too loud, invisible inside a crowd. Tomorrow I might crack the code, step out the frame, delete this mode, say something bold through Windows breach, like hey, the sky is in your reach. But maybe I won't need that storm, just knowing I was part of form, that someone stood where light was caught and painted spring with every thought. I watched him like a silent screen, projecting thoughts he's never seen. A theater show he didn't buy, but I paid full with every sigh. He stood, the world moved all around, yet never once turned at the sound of heartbeats tapping glass too loud, invisible inside a crowd. He never turned, and that's okay. Some roles are meant to watch, not play, but still I hope beyond the glass I wasn't just another class.